So it's October and it's definitely getting cooler, which means I'm very ready to just bundle up in all my cozy knits to brace winter. But first I obviously have to knit all the sweaters and winter items. So that's what this video is about. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and this here is my craft corner where I talk about fiber arts mainly. And today I wanted to share with you the 15 fall and winter knits that I would just love to add to my wardrobe right now, but I don't have the time to knit them all. So here's just a list of my dream knits for this season. I've picked out 15 patterns, which are a combination of a dress, pants. I have a knit set, some socks, tops, cardigans, and obviously sweaters. So let's get into that. First, I have picked out one dress that I absolutely love. It is the Oh My Figure dress by Oh My Knits, and it just looks incredible. I mean, the shaping around the hips, the legs, the length is incredible. The slit, I've seen a couple versions of people doing the slit a bit higher up, or just, I feel like this is a very classy dress that you can just wear, in the winter, fall, early spring maybe even. I feel like it's just a great dress to have. So that's on my dream to knit list. And moving on to the pants, I have picked out the palazzo pants by Low Rain Knitwear. This image is from Woolwalla on Instagram. Yeah, they're just some sweatpants with pockets. I really like the pockets, especially. Yeah, I would love to knit those. And the top that Woolwalla is wearing in this picture also just looks great with it. So just having a set or something, or maybe even with a matching cardigan, or I can just imagine myself sitting on the couch watching Netflix knitting in these pants. It looks very comfy. So then I actually have a set, the Cozy Cable set by Anne Catherine Knits. I think it's two separate patterns, but she kind of combined them in a set, but you still have to buy them separately. And I just think these cables look incredible. The pants are obviously shorts, which might not be ideal for winter, but I can just get myself under a blanket. So that's fine. It looks, again, very comfy and cozy, and hence the pattern name, probably, the Cozy Cable set. Yeah, I love the cables. I love how cozy it looks. So I would really love to knit this up someday. I don't know if it's going to happen this winter because I have a lot of knitting plans, but this is definitely pretty high up my list. Then socks. I found these color palette socks by Laurel Knits, and it just looks like a great stash busting project. The color palette idea just looks very nice. The stitches between the colors look like to be maybe twisted ribbing or just one by one ribbing, I'm not sure, but yeah, those socks again look very comfy and I would really love to wear them. Then we're moving on to tops, and tops are not very winterproof obviously, but just as a layering piece. First of all, the roll neck vest by Knits Please. I saw that someone mentioned this in her video. I think it was High Fiber Knits, and I just really fell in love with it, so I had to add it to my video too, but inspiration came from High Fiber Knits. This just looks like a great layering piece with a cardigan over it, and yeah, I can imagine myself wearing this in maybe a nice brown color or something. That would be incredible. So then we have camisole number 8, and I mentioned wanting to knit this up in my previous knitting podcast. I actually have the yarn for this already, and this again just looks like a great layering piece. It's almost like a vest instead of a camisole, But it still, again, looks very comfy, very cozy. And I think I will be knitting this winter or fall maybe even. This is pretty high up my list again of things I want to make. And especially when I have the yarn for it already. It's probably going to happen this winter. And then cardigans, because the tops are obviously need a layer over them. And what better to lay over a top than a cardigan. First I found a marigold cardigan, which I kind of picked out because it's twisted ribbing and I really like twisted ribbing. I did that on my Edgar cardigan a couple months ago and I really liked the look of it. So I picked it out because of that. But also it has pockets, so that's immediately a plus for me. I like the V-neck detail. I like how many buttons it has. I just really like this pattern. I would like to add some length to the sleeves maybe and knit it in a more neutral color. Maybe a gray or something, because the Edgar cardigan I made is in blue. And while I really like that very bright blue, it's also hard to match it with colorful tops. So just a neutral cardigan would probably be better suited for my wardrobe. And then I have another cardigan on my list, which is the first cardigan by Hive Knits. I don't think this pattern is out yet. I think it's still in testing. But I, again, really liked the ribbing details, which I don't remember if this is just twisted ribbing, maybe even half fisherman ribs. If I can find it or if I remember, I'll put it up here somewhere. But I'm really excited for this pattern to drop. And yeah, it looks very cozy again. And again, I would not knit it in this bright green color, but maybe a gray or a brown or something. Black maybe even, although knitting with black might be a bit too difficult. I'm currently knitting something in black and it's just very hard to see the stitches. So maybe not black for an entire cardigan, but we'll see. This again is pretty high up, but I'm not sure if I will be knitting it this winter. But I still really like it, and maybe it's a spring project even. So then it's time for the last segment, which is the biggest segment, the sweaters. There are a ton of sweaters I would love to knit, obviously, so I had to really dial it down for this and really pick my favorites to show you guys. And the first one is the twist loop sweater by Other Loops. I've seen this one get a lot of love on Instagram, and I can see why. I also fell for it, so I really can see why. It just looks very simple and plain in the colors and in the ribbing, and then just the one loop or the one cable really sticks out, and it really elevates the design. I think if it was all over cables, or is this cable maybe 3 times over the entire sweater, it would have been a bit much, but this hits the spot between minimalist and detailed perfectly. So this is very high up for me. This might just be my dream sweater to knit next, but we'll see what happens. I don't have the yarn for this one, and I do have yarn for other sweaters, so maybe I will need to knit those first. But this absolutely has stolen my heart the past few weeks that I've seen it all over Instagram. Then next we have the olive sweater by Knitting for Olive. I really want to knit the olive top as well, but I just saw this sweater, the V-neck sweater especially. I really like V-neck things. I think I like them more than just crew neck or regular neck. Turtlenecks are also one of my favorite, but V-necks are definitely up there. I really just like how detailed this one is. It has these kind of look like leaves, a leaf motif all over. And here I actually like that it's all over just the same. With the twist loop sweater, I think it would have been a bit much. But for this, it's perfect. You just have it all over. And I really like this color as well. The bit of a pastel color. Yeah, that's... Now I really want to knit this. I thought the twist loop sweater was maybe my favorite, but now, as I'm going through it again, this one is stealing my heart again. See, there are so many patterns, but there's absolutely not enough time to knit them all up this winter, and then by the time next winter comes, there will be 50 more sweater patterns out that I really want to make, and it's a race against the clock, really. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Then I have a pattern that I got from a book. I have one sweater knitting book. I own one sweater knitting book. And it is the Knit It Yourself book by Emma Wright. And I think there are 12 sweater patterns in there, and they're all equally amazing. But one that really stood out to me was the Freesia sweater. I have the yarn for this already at home. So I really want to make this. And it has some cables. It's a diamond shaped cabled thing, which kind of reminds me of the folder cardigan that I'm currently knitting. So the shape I'm familiar with. But this just looks, again, very classy. And very work appropriate. Or house appropriate. I feel like I can just wear this wherever, whenever, and yeah, that makes this pattern especially nice for me. So then we're getting into my favorite things knitwear segment. I have 4 sweaters from my favorite things knitwear in this, and the first one is sweater number 7. I put them in order of the numbers. The first up, sweater number 7. This is an older pattern of hers, but I really liked the sleeves, well, the capped. Yeah, I really liked how those were constructed. It just makes it feel a little bit extra, and I think I really like that in this sweater. It's just plain ribbing, but then the sleeves are just really a statement of the sweater, and I really like that. So that's something that's maybe, it might be near the bottom of my sweater to knit list, but it's definitely still there. And I'm definitely very excited if I ever get the chance to knit this, because next year my favorite things knitwear probably released 3 more sweaters that I really want to make as well. So maybe I'll never get to it, maybe I will. We'll see. But I really liked this design. So then there's one that might be my that will probably be my next sweater to knit, and that's the sweater number 14 V-neck version. I already have a store-bought sweater that's similar to this. I got it secondhand from my neighbor. She put all of her clothes that she didn't want anymore in a bag, and she gave that to me and my sister to just pick out some items that we would like. And I really liked this sweater in gray, but it's kind of falling apart now. I've had it for a couple of years, so I just thought it would be nice to maybe make a new version for myself. Yeah, to just make that. And it's very similar to how this one is constructed. I think this one is a bit more oversized. I don't know what I'm doing with the sizing yet, but this will probably be my next project to knit, because I already know that I would like a sweater like this. I wear this sweater all the time, so I know this will be a great addition to my wardrobe if I could just have one that doesn't fall apart. So yeah, this will be my next project to work on, sweater-wise, when I finally finish my sweater number 16. Because I'm currently working on 16, and there are 4 more my favorite things knitwear sweaters that I would like to make. So maybe a bit much, but I really like her designs. I really like the simplicity of her designs. Yeah, so next, sweater number 15. Yeah, it's all over cables. This one is in a bright green, but I'm thinking of maybe doing a pastel colored one. It's a bit lighter color. I really like the fit of this. I really like the cables. I really think it's a nice pattern to knit. I don't own the pattern yet, so I don't know, but it looks like a nice pattern to knit. Just the repeated cables. So it's a nice combination between being mindless and being detailed again. So you do have to pay some attention, but not full attention. So it would be a great Netflix or YouTube sweater to knit. And it would be, again, a great addition to my wardrobe because it looks very complicated, but cables aren't that difficult. So that's great. So then it's down to the last sweater and the last item that we'll talk about, which is sweater number 20. So this, again, by my favorite things knitwear. It's just it looks like a very heavy sweater, and it's very detailed with different kinds of cables all over it. And it feels like one of those very fake sweaters. I don't remember what size needles is it knit on, but I imagine it to be on a high, on like big needles, and just to knit up a bit quicker than the other sweaters that I've shown, because those are, I think, in the 4mm, like 3 to 4mm range, which is a lot for a sweater. And I would like to do some bigger needle projects not to just get out projects. I'm not really too bothered by having to knit a sweater on 3.5mm, which I'm currently doing. But I also would really like to see the progress and would really like to see some finished objects this winter. And if I'm only knitting on 3 to 4mm needles, I don't think I can do that many projects, and I really do want to finish some things. So yeah, that's 15 patterns that I would really like to make. That I will definitely not all make this fall and winter, but these are just the patterns that I'm currently in love with, the patterns that I currently would really love to have in my wardrobe, but I don't have the time to knit them all. So I do have to make some decisions, which is hard, but we'll see. We'll see how much I can finish in this season. So yeah, let me know what you're excited to knit this winter. And if you like this video, please leave a like. If you want to see me knit any of these items, consider subscribing so you can stay updated with my knitting journey. And yeah, I will see you guys again real soon. Bye!